Around. At this time, I'm going to ask Dr. Mitchell to do a budget update.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chairman. I'd like to reiterate the primary areas of need as outlined in the proposed budget that I presented on February 11th. We've asked for funding for several things. First, for student safety and health needs, most notably 2 additional SROs for our elementary school and sorely needed school buses. While I would like to have asked for 10 more teachers, I'm asking for 5 additional classroom teachers to help us in critical areas or programs where enrollment warrants more instructional staff. We have also become increasingly concerned with the aging hardware for our teachers and staff. Therefore, we are asking for funding to help us begin a plan to replace staff computers. This proposed budget also includes funding to bring back teacher stipends lost last year, those for school test coordinators and elementary council members. Finally, we are asking for a 2% increase for all of our employees and the funding to assist us with increased health care costs. It was made real clear tonight as I saw the classified workers and all of these wonderful teachers come before us how I believe that they deserve at least a 2% increase. They actually deserve far more than that. The total cost of these requests will require a $5.1 million increase to our budget from our local government. In a public meeting 2 weeks ago, the county administrator informed us that he was proposing only $2 million for us. The amount left over from the county after the county has identified its needs. As you may know, last year we received $0. So I was pleased to hear that we may get something, but the truth is that amount does not meet our needs, nor is it what we believe is fair. I hope you will make the case for us when you meet with the board this week. At a minimum, I'm hoping that they will give us what Mr. McCullough has asked for, and I'm hoping that they will provide additional funding so that we can begin to recoup what we have lost, critically lost, over the last 6 years. To broaden the revenue picture before your meeting with the supervisors, Marcy Kotoff, our Director of Budget and Planning, will provide you with some updated information about the revenue picture from the state, federal, and local perspective. Marcy?
What you see before you is a handout. What I did is I captured the revenue picture that's in the superintendent's proposed budget, and then I gave a revenue updated.
No.
They should be up there at your desk.
Mitchell has them all. No.
Could I just say, trust me?
Yes. Okay, we all have one to look at.
Okay, great. So I started out with what's in the superintendent's proposed budget. You see the revenues. And then I showed briefly some of the updates that we know that have happened or changed since the superintendent presented her budget. The first is the General Assembly. They have concluded, they've adopted a budget that increases the funding for Fauquier County Public Schools by $159,000. It came in 2 major areas. One of them is an incentive program to help with compensation. If we will give a 2% raise, then we can pull down now an amount to the tune of $500,000 to offset that. Now, all of this hinges on the governor's potential veto or approval on April 3rd. The federal funds, our budget has not considered the impact of sequestration, but the question has come up. What would the impact be? If there is an 8% reduction in our federal programs, that would cost us about $300,000. We don't know the details. We don't know if it affects all programs like JROTC or if it's just certain grants. As that information comes in, then we'll make those decisions on how to handle it. But I wanted to frame the potential impact of the sequestration to Fauquier County Public Schools. The last piece is the local, which Dr. Mitchell informed you of. We did ask for $5.1 million. The county administrator has included just over $2 million in his budget for Fauquier County Public Schools. The next piece is the expenditure picture. Again, it starts with what was in the superintendent's proposed budget. And then the main piece that's still out there that still is coming together is the health insurance piece. What happened uniquely this year is we were also going through a request for proposal for our insurance carrier at the same time. We are self-insured, so we do pay our own claims, and our claims experience had been increasing steadily. We are seeing a change in that trend, and with some of the data we have requested, we think that what we'll be able to present to the Personnel Committee this week is some recommendations and options. So we believe today we got the final pieces that will be able to be presented Thursday at the Personnel Committee as far as recommendations begin to go.
Okay.
On the back, the last piece, if you flip over, on the back, you see in black your adopted budget calendar. Now, given that data from health insurance is just coming out, given sequestration and allocation from the Board of Supervisors, what we are proposing is the potential to not adopt on April 3rd, but give us a chance to bring back to you on the 15th recommendations, or even on the 8th, and then on the 15th work through those so that you're not trying to make decisions upon getting this data, that it gives you another week or so to really go through the pieces to balance. So if you like what's shown in red, then we would ask on March 25th, when you adopt your budget, if you would go ahead and amend your budget calendar to include these work sessions.
That makes the most sense.
It's much appreciated to give us that extra time. Absolutely.
Right. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Marcy.
I just want to say one last thing, that we believe that we've been We believe that we've been responsible stewards of the taxpayers' money, and I believe that you all would agree with that. I mentioned this the last time, that we believe this request is not only reasonable and fair, but we think it's due and owing to the public school children of Fauquier County. So we just want you all to remember that as we go with the Board of Supervisors on Thursday.
Thank you. At this time, we move to the budget public hearing, and I don't have but one person signed up, and it may just been to the number of people out in the hall. You may have missed it. Is there anybody else that wanted to speak? I have Sally Morgan. Sure. If you would, please come to the podium, state your name and magisterial district. And we give you 3 minutes.
Good evening. I'm Sally Morgan. I'm Executive Director of the Mental Health Association of Fauquier, and I would like to speak this evening in support of one very specific item in the proposed budget, probably small in the greater scope of things that you're dealing with, but I think very large in terms of its impact. And that is a position that's currently a part-time mental health specialist position that's grant funded, and I believe the recommendation was to move that to a full-time position and to fund it locally. I want you to know that for the last 6 years, the Mental Health Association has been that grantor. We have put up $178,500 in totally private funds to support the mental health specialist position. And we've been very pleased to do that. The original agreement with the school board when we first offered that funding was a 3-year program, at the end of which, if the position had been deemed successful, the school board had agreed to pick that position up. That wasn't possible at the end of the 3 years, so we extended that another 3 years, and we're hoping, it feels like such a central part of what the schools are doing. We hope that you will consider picking up that funding this year. It came about as a long-standing relationship, a long-standing partnership between the Mental Health Association and the schools, and I'd like to thank Frank Finn for his leadership. Other people on this coalition have included the Rappahannock-Rapidan Community Services folks who run our public mental health system. We also have private mental health providers, and we spent a lot of time looking at what needs are in the schools and how we can support things like suicide prevention activities, anti-bullying activities, etc. And one of the things that we determined was that there are a number of students who, the most at-risk students, I guess I would say, in our school system, need a level of intensity that before this position was created, we weren't in a position to provide. This individual is a licensed clinician, but she's actually doing something beyond counseling. It's really pulling together all of the community resources a family may need to solve whatever the problems are that the child is facing. In this year, right now, we haven't even finished the year, but the position which is currently occupied by a wonderful woman named Trina Stalfort, she's already helped 55 families with this intense kind of service. And I would say to you that we can't afford not to pay attention to the mental health needs of our students. It can be a matter of literally life and death, and at least it's a matter of giving a child a chance, turning a child's life around at a very critical time. We hope that you'll be able to fund this in the coming year, and Fauquier Mental Health Association certainly intends to continue working in partnership. If you're able to pick up this position, then we can look at things like trying to purchase psychiatric consultations and some things that are currently falling through the cracks. So thank you very much for your consideration. Good luck with your decisions. I know you've got a hard job.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, if there's nobody else, then that will close the public hearing, and we move to announcements. There will be a Personnel Committee meeting Thursday, March 14th at 9.
Yep.
Okay. Not 8. We'll be here at 8 for the Eagle Awards. Okay. And then at 9 o'clock here will be the Personnel Committee meeting. There will be a joint work session between the Board of Supervisors and the School Board on Thursday, March 14th at 4 o'clock in the Warren Green Building. The Mountain Vista Governor's School Governing Board will meet Thursday, March 21st at 8 a.m. in the Lord Fairfax Community College Middletown campus. Okay.
We made that correction when we were up there.
Okay. All right. Chairman's Night will be Monday, March 25th at 5 p.m. in the School Administration Conference Room. There will be a school board work session Monday, March 25th at 6 p.m. in the School Administration Conference Room, and it came through on my calendar as 7 o'clock, so please make sure you don't show up at 7. Yeah, show up at 6. There will be a building committee meeting Thursday, March 28th at 9:30 a.m. in the School Administration Conference Room. Spring break is March 25th through April 1st. There will be a School Health Advisory Committee meeting on Wednesday, April 3rd at 8 a.m. in the Central Complex Meeting Room. There will be a Special Education Advisory Committee meeting Wednesday, April 3rd at 5:30 p.m. in the Central Complex Meeting Room A. There will be a School Support Council meeting Thursday, April 4th at 7 p.m. in the School Administration Conference Room. And the next school board meeting is Monday, April 8th at 7 p.m. at Warrenton Middle School, when a middle school redistricting public hearing will also be held. And at this time, I would like to thank Mr. Roger Lee, sitting there in the back, Sam Cox, Greg Carter. I don't think any of them are in here for hosting us this evening. And April Plummer. Is April probably working outside? And yeah, and Sherry Henning for their help with the reception. And I do not believe there is a response to citizens' time, and we will move straight into citizens' time. The school board appreciates public input. However, due to time constraints, citizens' time is not a time for dialogue. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Matters relating to personal or personnel issues should not be discussed. The school board welcomes the public's comments and believes community involvement is an important component of a successful school division, and I don't have but one person signed up. Was there anybody else that wanted to? Okay, Ms. Baker. We will call Heidi Van Voorhees first, and then we'll follow with Ms. Baker. If you would, please state your name and magisterial district.
Sure. I'm Heidi Van Voorhees. I'm from Scott District. And sorry I couldn't make it last month. My son had a run-in with an X-Acto knife in school. This is my first citizen's time, so I just am going to read a letter, and I apologize, but it's as best I can do. It's a little intimidating. Okay, my name is Heidi Van Voorhees. I live with my husband Chandler and our 2 kids in the town of the Plains on Fauquier Avenue in Scott District. We are blessed to have 2 children in Fauquier County Schools, Coleman and Marshall. We love our schools and our teachers and our administration. I'm here tonight to ask you to vote against the proposed August 19th start to the school year calendar. I really request we start after Labor Day. I hear a lot of complaints about the early start to the school year, but most of the busy parents don't have time or know how to go about making their thoughts known. And I've spent a lot of time trying to figure this out and get here this evening, and I think I'm halfway there maybe. So for the love of children and family, please, please save our August and summer. As I understand it, the early start is also an attempt to facilitate setting up next year to start even shockingly earlier on August 11th. And somehow our neighbors in Loudoun, Prince William, Stafford, Fairfax, and now Spotsylvania are able to fit in the mandated number of school days, and yet they start after Labor Day. If they can do it, I know we can do it too. For the love of budget, childcare, and family time, please vote no on early August 19th calendar start. Number one, budget and cost. Let's do an impact statement for earlier August starts. Fauquier citizens should not have to be forced to pay for August air conditioning bills, often hiked up at August rates. Number two, childcare. Anyone who has attempted to arrange some summer childcare options in early June knows how extraordinarily difficult it is to do that, since most programs and camps start later in July and run through the end of August. And last, family time, a vanishing commodity. It's tough to schedule vacation in the very slim business acceptable time frame of late July through Labor Day, and we can't all be off at once. So while the weather is the hottest and the days are long and lazy, please let us use them for the greater good, because it's time to understand what a delicate balance education truly is, in and out of the classroom. As Katie Couric said, quote, straight A's and high SAT scores are not the holy grail. We all want our kids to excel, but I'd take a happy child over a depressed success any day of the week, end quote. So for you, our school board, it's time for a thoughtful consideration to make the right choice for all our children and families, and keep August for families. Because in the end, we're all on the same team here, Team Kids. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Pat Baker.
Good evening, Madam Chair, school board members, Dr. Mitchell. I'm Pat Baker, president of the FEA. Just a few things that really can't be definitive tonight because of time, but we still have a number of policy issues that we would love to discuss with the school board, and even going back to the resolution asking for a continuing contract of some sort of statement, and then going back to our policies on second job, school work hours, social media, intellectual property, and possible we have a policy, but it was a spoken one, it wasn't a written one, on meetings with classified and certified employees and administration. And just to have that clarified. Those things can be done, and not right now. The other thing would be our evaluation, knowing that it comes from the state, 7 standards, all percentaged, all come up to 100%, with the 7th standard being 40. We were kind of hoping for a pure consistency throughout the county, and we understand that that is a difficult thing to ask when you have so many schools with human beings running them and human beings teaching in them. However, the state does have a mandate. It does have standards, it has rubrics, and it puts a great deal of emphasis on our principals and our assistant principals. All wonderful people, highly qualified, and able to look at a person who's teaching and really, in the 3 years between formal observations, able to know who is highly effective, marginal, and the other. We think we need to look at standards 1, 3, and 5 and try to understand what does it mean when it says they are observable as opposed to documented. And who should be documenting? Do you want teachers to make that documentation, or do you want your administrators to decide what would be under each standard and then pass it down to your teachers? I think we're all confused. Not really upset or angry, just we're confused. What are we doing is basically the question. And we're more than willing to do whatever you say. And the other would be the budget, which through the hearing, no, I am so sorry about that. We did have a kind of important question. Teachers are used to working for a year and moving to the next step, and then you are given the raise. We have not had an experienced step in 4 or 5 years. Are we going to be moving up a step and then receive a 2% salary increase? Or are you just giving people, or hoping to give people 2% and then call it the next step? And how does that impact people moving into the county? After I worked a year and just get a 2% and call it my next step. We really do need, I think, to look at the pay scale, and you know, the supervisors may have a heart attack or two, but we need to keep our teachers here, and you need to pay them, and I know you know that. And our benefits, again, health insurance, we've heard 18%. Other divisions are being told possibly 8%. What is it and who's getting it? We need to know these kind of things before we can come right out and say, let's go fight for this budget and let the supervisors know we need money, because we're behind you 100% if, you know, everything's as much as we can get for teaching and our experience. We don't want to leave. And I'm afraid your younger teachers are looking that way. They can't afford to stay. But we hope they all do. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, we move to reports. Board members. We'll start. Mr. Gore, you got anything?
I don't have a report at this time.
Okay.
Nothing on the Building Committee report other than the fact that most of us had a tour of the latest Fauquier High School accomplishments, and I think we're all very well pleased at the direction this is going in. I do believe, Ms. Bourne, this past Monday, did they move into the new part, the administrators at the front? Okay. Okay, but we're moving to it. Okay.
But they're going in the front door.
They're going in the front door now. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very well. Okay.
Okay. I'll just piggyback onto that. We did have since you don't have building committee minutes this time, all of the buzz-in systems are complete at all the schools.
Oh, that's good. Yay.
The lights and buzzing system, yeah.
And they're now in the process of going back and starting, are we at Bradley? Yeah, for the second phase, and we hope to have that all done.
Great.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay. Dr. Mitchell, while we're just heading this way.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
I don't have a report, but I do have a congratulations for one member of my staff who defended her dissertation last week in the rotunda of the greatest university ever.
I wanted to ask about that. Yes.
Eileen Burgoyne is now Dr. Eileen Burgoyne.
All right. Congratulations.
Very good. Very good.
I have nothing to report that's worth anything, except I really want to say, well, I'm just, compared to the awards that we just saw and hearing about Dr. Burgoyne, I got to say, there is a lot happening right in Fauquier County, and those students and our staff really put us on the map, and I just really want to thank everybody for all their hard work, and this is an amazing place, so I hope everybody advertises that, because it's really true. Thank you.
And we'll tell the Board of Supervisors.
Yes, and tell the Board of Supervisors that.
Other than that, I don't have anything else to add. I think I've probably said enough already.
Okay. Then we will move to the financial management report. Ms. Kotoff.
Good evening again. What you have before you is the February 28th financial management report. We are 67% through the fiscal year. I did want to point out one thing and bring it to your attention. Food Nutrition Fund, now that, you know, as they anticipate us not being in school all 180 days. They do build in, when they budget, some anticipation for snow days. We have had those snow days. We've also had additional days off. And quite frankly, with the reduction in enrollment, meal counts are down. So I just, as a heads up, right now projections through the end of the school year look as though expenditures will exceed revenues. They do have a fund balance of approximately $372,000, but I do believe by the end of this year that they will have dipped into that. So just early warning, we'll continue to monitor it, and hopefully there's no more snow. Any other questions? I did present this to the Finance Committee. And if you have any other questions, you can let me know.
Okay. Anything?
No.
Okay,
All
thank
right,
you.
thanks.
Okay, Ms. Downs, Human Resource Department.
Good evening. The following is a brief summary of the activities occurring in the Human Resources Department. We are currently recruiting for 5.5 certified vacancies, 13 classified vacancies. This Saturday is our teacher job fair at Liberty High School. We will begin at 8 o'clock and wrap up at 1 p.m. And we have close to 400 interviews scheduled for the day. So we are extremely excited. It's the largest turnout we've had yet.
Wow, what am I
Any
done?
questions?
Fuck, here is it happening?
Yeah, that's right.
it.
Yeah.
The word's out there.
Any
Good
questions?
grief. Okay, any questions for Ms. Downs? Anybody? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, move to consent agenda.
Madam Chair, I move that the school board approve the following: the minutes of the February 11th school board meeting, February 20th school board work session, and middle school redistricting public forum, February 25th, and the school board work session and February 26th school board middle school redistricting public forum, the payment of bills, personnel actions, and revisions to policy 7-1.3 student records.
Second.
Motion and a second that the school board approve the minutes of the February 11th school board meeting, the February 20th school board work session and middle school redistricting public forum, February 25th school board work session, and February 26th school board middle school redistricting public forum, payment of bills, personnel actions, and revisions to policy 7-1.3 student records. Any discussion? Other than say, I'm glad February is over. Yeah. Okay. If there is nothing else, then all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, and the motion carries. We move to information items and youth art endorsement. Oh, we got a
team.
We got a team. That's all right. Come on.
Good evening, Madam Chair, school board members, Dr. Mitchell. We are art teachers from Greenfield Elementary, Warrenton Middle School, Kettle Run High School, and Brumfield Elementary. And tonight we'd like to present you with the Youth Art Month endorsement. All month long in the month of March, throughout Fauquier County, we've been celebrating Youth Art Month, which means we're really putting our children's artwork on a pedestal and celebrating all that they do, which is truly great. We have actually this year instilled a art walk around Main Street, Warrenton. So that's pretty wonderful if you get a chance to check it out. It's really quite beautiful up there. We have almost all of the schools participating and 19 businesses. So really great community show. Ms. Pappas here will show you our Youth Art Month endorsement, if you wouldn't mind signing it as I read. And we also have some pins and buttons. You can see that I am modeling them. You may choose one that you like. They're from Greenville, Warrenton, and Brumfield. So please enjoy. Excuse me. So the endorsement reads, whereas art education contributes powerful educational benefits to all elementary, middle, and secondary students, including the following. Art education develops students' creative problem solving and critical thinking abilities. Art education teaches sensitivity to beauty, order, and other expressive qualities. Art education gives students a deeper understanding of multicultural values and beliefs. Art education reinforces and brings to life what students learn in other subject areas. And art education interrelates student learning in art production, art history, art criticism, and aesthetics. And whereas our national leaders have acknowledged the necessity of including art experiences in all student education, and whereas March is officially recognized as Youth Art Month, we hope, the school board members will endorse the observance of Youth Art Month and encourage their support and quality of school art programs for children and youth in Fauquier County. And we thank you guys so much for your support, as you've shown tonight.
Thank you
Well,
for
thank you.
everything that you all do.
Thank you. We are also having our countywide art show, April 12th and April 13th at Marshall Middle School this year, and we hope to see you there.
At Marshall?
Marshall Middle School this year. Yes. And just another note, it said as our national leaders have recognized, we have just received note that the governor of Virginia has also signed this. So, yay! Art education for all. So thank you all so much.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And sorry, Mayor Fitch will also sign the same proclamation tomorrow, so wonderful things.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Madam Chair, hearing that, I would like to motion that the school board move the Youth Art Month endorsement to action item 14B for consideration for approval this evening.
Second that?
Motion and a second that the school board move Youth Art Month endorsement to action item 14B for consideration for approval this evening. Any discussion? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And that motion carries, and we move to Ms. Kotov, Aspirations 2015 update.
It has been a busy February. Between this and the strategic plan, a lot of good things happening. This is year 3 of the strategic plan. This is your mid-year review. Just to kind of recap, the first 2 years we championed 54 action plans. We've now added 4 more to it, so we have championed 44% of our action plans, and 58 out of 132. 19 are ongoing with the 4 new, but we also have 32 that we've completed, and as of mid-year this year 3, we've completed another 8 already. Wow. So it has been a busy time. I just wanted to, there's so many good things happening. Dr. Burgwin, you saw her giving some of her awards, and some of that came out of Aspirations. The Tree Awards came out of Aspirations. I just wanted to highlight 2 more. One of them is Action Plan 1.15. It was championed by Sarah Fry, and it was to expand the career and technical education course offerings in agriculture to provide students with marketable skills. And as you know, I'm just going to say it, you've already done the action, but agriculture, fabrication, and engineering, emerging technologies, agriculture business fundamentals, and introduction to animal systems were added to the course offerings for this upcoming year. And again, coming straight out of some of our strategic plan items. The other one is Action Plan 1.32. I point this one out because it will be coming to you. And this is the one that reviewed and evaluated the current scheduling at high schools and middle schools. It began in year 1 with high schools, and we had gone through that, and now it's on to middle schools. And so what will be presented is a recommendation. It's gone to the principals. It's now being reviewed by other stakeholders in the school system, and then it should be coming to the board to look at the proposal in April. So again, we have been busy. We are working. There's some great plans out there. As you look through this, if you have any questions, please let me know, and we'll get those to you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Any questions? Anybody?
No?
No, a lot of good things still happening there.
Quite a few accomplishments already.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Okay, move to action items. And first up, 2013-2014 school year calendar.
I move that the school board approve the 2013-2014 school year calendar.
Second.
Motion and a second that the school board approve the 2013-2014 school year calendar. Any discussion?
Yeah, I would like to just say a couple things. Through the last few months, as we've been considering this calendar and the middle school redistricting and biweekly pay, we've received many comments from parents, residents, and staff where some have claimed that we've already made a decision or that we do not listen to your views. I am taken really aback by these comments, and I take them very, very seriously. So I would like to clearly state what motivates my decisions and my decision to support this calendar. I greatly value and learn from the opinions of others, and in fact, just this morning I was reading a research paper that was suggested by one of the parent emails that I received. Fauquier also has one of the best administrative staffs in the Commonwealth with decades of experience, and I also value their opinions as well. However, listening does not always mean following. And no elected official, in my opinion, should ever just follow. I support this calendar because I believe it is in the best interest of the education of our students, giving them more critical instructional time before the holiday break.
Okay. Anybody else? Anything?
Yeah, and I want to echo Ms. Wolf's comments too about this board not listening, and the active listening that's going on by this board over the past 2 months has been exemplary, and I'm going to not be supporting this calendar, as I stated before, and a lot of this comes from listening to people within the community and our teachers as well. Do I have a really strong opinion about when between the 26th or the 19th? Not extremely strong, but I do know that most people in this community have asked me that the pace of life that they have, their family life, other things, that the start date of the 26th is more conducive to that. So with that being said, I think the 19th calendar is going to be fine, and we'll have a great school year, but I would support the 26th, so I'm going to be voting against this particular calendar.
Okay. Anybody else? I'll just say I did read every one of the comments that came in through calendar comments. Many people are misinformed as they claim things about the majority of the schools going back after Labor Day. That's in fact in Virginia absolutely not true. I just read last week again where one locality was not able to get a waiver because of snow days, so they tried a different direction to get a waiver so they could start before Labor Day, and that was denied. There's a reason that every year before the General Assembly they're hearing these proposals to, get rid of the King's Dominion law. Localities want the flexibility. When they're tied in to after the Labor Day starts, it doesn't give you much leeway for bad weather. And I guess I've been here a long time, and I can remember Februaries where we were out of school more days than we were in school, and you probably...
We had one of those experiences most recently,
That's right.
years ago.
That's right. So when you start school after Labor Day, and then you add on top of that a number of snow days, and you just put yourself in a really bad position. And we try to make the decision that we believe is in the best interest instructionally for all of our children. Now, it may not be in the best interest of an individual family, and we understand that, but for the majority of the children. And I did hear, one of the comments we had was about bus drivers. And we understand, and when it's hot, and if you need to drink some water, that's okay. So we need to make sure that that message is getting shared with our transportation department. And I can't think of any others. I mean, most of them were about the post-Labor Day.
Yeah, I don't have a strong, like Brian, I don't have a strong opinion one way or the other. My main concern here, or the item that I have the most interest in, is getting in as many instructional days before the winter break. And it's because of that item and its importance to this board and the school population, I am going to vote in favor of it.
I would just like to add also that, I know that there's a tendency for people to try to compare us to Loudoun County and Prince William County and Fairfax County and other counties. None of those counties travel the distance that we do our school buses to pick up children. We are approximately, I forget how many miles we are long.
60.
Yeah, 60 miles long. And we also, 90% of the roads in Fauquier County are secondary roads, are not maintained by any organization. And so therefore, we face some real transportation issues in getting our children to and from school safely. And for me, this calendar allows us to get in the appropriate instruction time that we need. And also, it also helps protect the children so they can come to and from school safely. And that's why I am in favor. And as regards to weather, I really don't see, I mean, granted, I may be originally from New York, where there really is like kind of like a true break in the fall, but I haven't really seen any difference in the weather between the 19th of August and Labor Day. Pretty much the weather's hot all the time, you know, during that time of year. So it's also hot in June. So saying that, I'm definitely in favor of the calendar, and I do read every email that I get, and I sometimes take offense to people assuming that we don't. I think that if you want someone to listen to you, probably the best way is to just assume that they have an open mind and that they are considering what you have to say. Don't start off with accusations that there's no way that you can know whether or not they're true or not.
Okay. If there's no other discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no.
No.
Motion carries. And we move to the Youth Art Endorsement Resolution.
Madam Chair, I move that the school board authorize the chairman to sign the resolution endorsing March as Youth Art Month.
Second.
Motion and a second that the school board authorize the chairman to sign the resolution endorsing March as Youth Art Month. Any discussion?
Just thank you to you
Yes.
teachers out there for what you're doing for our kids.
Great
Thank
job.
you. Great job. Great job.
Yep. Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is there any other business to come before the board tonight? If not,
Motion
I
to
move that
adjourn?
we adjourn. Okay, both of you. Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.